Listen, if you've ever felt like you're shrinking yourself just to keep a friendship alive, this is for you. If you've ever felt the tension in a room shift the moment you shared your success, this is for you. And if you've ever ignored that gut feeling that someone in your circle doesn't truly clap when you win, this is especially for you. Jealousy is a silent killer of dreams, and today I'm telling you, you cannot be friends with anybody who carries even a hint of it. People say, oh, they're just jealous because you're doing great. That's not a compliment. That's a warning, because jealousy is an admiration. It isn't some cute little thing you brush off and laugh about. Jealousy is a disease, a slow-burning fire that eats away at people from the inside. And when you keep people like that close to you, don't be surprised when their fire starts burning you too. Jealousy shows up in whispers and shadows in ways that are so subtle you almost miss it. It's in the friend who asks, why do you always get so lucky? Instead of saying, I'm so happy for you, it's in the friend who rolls their eyes when you talk about your next big move, who suddenly becomes quiet when you're excited, who always has something negative to say when things go right for you. And let me tell you something. The moment you sense even a hint of jealousy in someone, you need to open your eyes. You need to wake up and realize that this isn't just some minor personality flaw. This is a problem, because a jealous person doesn't see your success as something to celebrate. They see it as a personal attack on them. They take it as a reminder of what they don't have, of where they think they should be, and instead of using that feeling to push themselves forward, they sit in it. They let it turn into bitterness. And before you know it, that bitterness turns into resentment, and resentment is dangerous. It's like poison. It doesn't just stay inside of them, it spreads. And if you're not careful, it'll start poisoning you too. You ever notice how when you're around certain people, your energy just feels drained? Like you could be on top of the world, feeling unstoppable, and then after one conversation with them, you feel small. That's not a coincidence. That's what happens when you keep jealous people around. Their energy starts rubbing off on you. Their doubts start creeping into your mind. Their negativity starts making you question yourself. They won't say it outright, but their actions will. They'll make you second guess your wins. They'll make you feel guilty for your blessings. They'll plant little seeds of insecurity in your mind so slowly, so quietly that you won't even realize it's happening. Until one day, you wake up and you're not as confident as you used to be. You're playing small. You're dimming your light just so they don't feel bad about themselves. And the crazy part? You'll keep making excuses for them. You'll tell yourself, oh, they're just going through something. You'll say, they don't mean it like that. You'll convince yourself that they're not actually jealous, that maybe you're just being dramatic. But deep down, you know the truth. Deep down, you feel it. You know what it's like to be around people who genuinely love and support you. And you know this doesn't feel the same. Real friends don't make you feel like you have to downplay your wins. Real friends don't act weird when you level up. Real friends don't make you feel guilty for the things you've worked your ass off for. And if someone can't be happy for you, truly, deeply happy for you, that's not your friend. That's a problem waiting to happen. Because let me tell you something, jealousy doesn't stay at just jealousy, it grows. It turns into envy. And envy turns into sabotage. That's why you can't afford to keep people like that close to you. Not because you're better than them, not because you think you're too good for them, but because your peace is too expensive. Your dreams are too valuable. Your energy is too precious to be surrounded by people who secretly want to see you fail. You don't have time for that. You don't have space for that. You didn't come this far just to let someone else's insecurities pull you back down. So pay attention. Pay attention to the way people react when you win. Pay attention to the energy shifts. Pay attention to those little passive-aggressive comments, those forced smiles, those moments when you feel like you have to hold yourself back just to make them comfortable. Because your future depends on the people you keep around you. And if someone has even a hint of jealousy in their heart, they do not belong in your circle. They never did. You can feel it, can't you? That shift in the atmosphere when you walk into a room and share your wins. It's subtle at first, like a brief pause in the conversation, a sudden change in the energy. But if you're tuned in, you'll notice it. You see, energy never lies. And energy can be the truest indicator of how someone really feels about you, even if they don't say it aloud. People who genuinely care about you will light up when you succeed. They'll cheer you on, they'll be excited for you, and they'll encourage you to keep going. But with someone who's jealous, the reaction is different. It's not the excitement you expected. It's not the high five you were hoping for. It's the uncomfortable silence, the awkward smile, the quick change of subject. And that right there is your sign. Now, some people will try to hide their feelings. They'll cover up the jealousy with fake compliments or act like they're happy for you. But you can always sense it. It's like a vibe you pick up on. Their words say one thing, but their energy tells a whole different story. They'll say a good for you, but you can hear the underlying tone, the one that feels more like a lucky you. It's subtle, but it's there. You feel it in the way they look at you, in the way they listen to you, or more accurately, in the way they don't listen. They might smile, but it doesn't reach their eyes. And that's when you know you've caught the first whiff of jealousy. You ever wonder why that one friend, the one who's always is so happy for everyone, suddenly goes quiet when it's your turn? Maybe they get a little too busy to congratulate you, or they seem more interested in their own problems than hearing about your success. That's energy telling you everything you need to know. They're not really happy for you. They might say it, but they can't even fake the energy. They're so caught up in their own insecurities that they can't bear to see you succeed. And that right there is a problem. Jealousy doesn't just stop with the cold shoulder. It doesn't just show up in those awkward moments when you're talking about your latest accomplishment. It starts to influence their actions too. Maybe they start giving you unsolicited advice, like telling you how you could have done things differently, how you could have done it better. But here's the truth, they don't really want you to do better. They want you to stay small so they don't feel threatened. They want to keep you at the same level so they don't have to face their own feelings of inadequacy. And the hardest part, you might not even notice it at first. Because, let's be real, it's tough to spot jealousy sometimes. It's sneaky. It hides behind a concern, behind a constructive criticism, behind it just trying to help. But deep down, you know that when someone truly cares about you, they lift you up. They don't try to tear you down, even in the name of a helping. And that's when you have to ask yourself, is this friendship really lifting you up? Or is it pulling you down? We all deserve to be around people who make us feel like we can do anything, who cheer for our wins and push us to dream bigger. We don't need anyone who makes us question our path or makes us feel guilty for reaching higher. A real friend won't try to outshine you. They'll be happy to share the spotlight. They won't give you fake praise or pretend to be excited for you. They'll genuinely celebrate your success. And if they can't do that, if they can't get past their own envy to stand with you in your joy, then that's not someone who should be in your circle. So when you feel that shift in energy, when you hear those words that don't feel quite right, when you see the way someone reacts to your success, trust it. Trust that gut feeling, because deep down you know that energy never lies. You know when someone's rooting for you, and you know when they're just pretending. And you can't afford to have people in your life who pretend. You need the ones who are genuinely happy for you. You need the ones who will celebrate every win, big or small, and who will make you feel like you can conquer the world. Anything less is a waste of your time and energy. Jealousy doesn't just stay small. It doesn't stay in that one awkward moment or that slight tension when you share your success. No, it grows, slowly, almost imperceptibly. It starts to consume the person carrying it. And the thing is, when jealousy grows, it doesn't just affect them, it starts to affect everyone around them. What may have started as a little envy turns into a sense of competition. A deep-rooted desire to outdo you, to prove that they're just as good, just as worthy, just as deserving as you. But here's the thing, jealousy, when it's left unchecked, turns into something far more dangerous. It becomes resentment, it becomes bitterness. And that's when it stops being just a personal issue they're dealing with. That's when it starts to hurt you. When jealousy begins to grow, it's no longer just about them feeling inferior. It becomes about them wanting to take something from you. They no longer want to support you. They want to be better than you. And it might not even be conscious. It might not even be something they fully recognize about themselves, but you can feel it. You'll feel it in the little jabs, the cutting remarks, the backhanded compliments. You'll feel it when they undermine your achievements, even if it's in a passive way. They'll say, well, it's not that big of a deal, or I've done something similar, or everyone's doing it. They'll downplay your success, because deep down, they're afraid of yours overshadowing theirs. And this is where it gets tricky, because jealousy doesn't announce itself. It doesn't wear a neon sign saying, I'm jealous, watch out. It doesn't show up as a loud and obvious attack. It's quiet, it's subtle, and it starts off so small that you might even think you're imagining it. It could be the way they look at you when you talk about your latest project, or the fact that they suddenly stop asking about your goals. It's in those moments when they avoid conversations about your achievements altogether, like it's too painful to acknowledge that you're winning. They might even act supportive on the surface, but you can see it in their eyes. There's a flicker of something behind those smiles, and that flicker is jealousy turning into something more. It's turning into resentment, and resentment is like a slow poison. It might take time for it to manifest, but once it's there, it's hard to ignore. The person you thought was your friend slowly starts to become someone you can't trust. You start feeling like every conversation has an agenda behind it. You start to wonder if their kindness is real, or if they're just being polite, because they know they have to be. They won't ever come out and say it, but in their heart, they start to feel like they're competing with you. And that's when you can't ignore the truth anymore. They don't want you to win at all. See, they're not rooting for you. They're trying to level the playing field in their favor. This is when jealousy moves from an internal struggle to an external one, and that's where things get messy. People who are consumed by jealousy don't just sit in their own misery. They start to drag you down with them. They won't consciously do it. They might even be blind to their own actions, but the negativity starts leaking out. They start to make snide comments about your work, or they start putting down your achievements to make themselves feel better. And every time they do this, it chips away at your spirit, at your confidence. It makes you question whether what you've done is really as great as you thought it was. And that's the danger, because when jealousy grows, it becomes more than just an individual issue. It becomes a toxic environment, one that leaves you questioning your worth and second-guessing your path. Jealousy grows. It doesn't stay in that one moment of awkwardness. It doesn't stay in that one side eye. It doesn't stay in that single comment. No, it festers. It morphs into resentment, bitterness, and even sabotage. And when it reaches that point, you can't just sit back and let it slide. It affects everything. It affects your confidence. It affects your creativity. It affects the way you see the world. When jealousy grows unchecked, it doesn't just ruin the person holding it. It has the potential to ruin everything around them. This is why you can't afford to have anyone in your life who lets that jealousy fester. Because once it grows, there's no telling how it will manifest. It might show up as a sabotaged opportunity. It might show up as a subtle undermining of your ideas. It might even show up as them just pulling away from you entirely, creating space between you and your dreams. Jealousy that grows into resentment is never just about one person. It's about everyone around them. And if you're someone who wants to keep growing, you can't afford to keep people like that in your circle. You need to protect your energy and your vision from the slow burn of jealousy turning into something worse. Here's the hard truth. Jealousy and loyalty cannot coexist. You can't have someone in your corner who secretly resents your progress. You can't trust someone who deep down is waiting for you to fail so they can feel better about themselves. Loyalty is about having someone's back no matter what, through thick and thin. But a jealous person, they're not there for you the way you think they are. They might say the words, they might pretend they're on your team, but the moment you really need them, when the stakes are high and you're pushing through challenges, that's when their true colors show. They'll be nowhere to be found. They'll be the first to disappear when things get tough because they were never really loyal to you. They were only loyal to themselves and their own insecurities. Loyalty is more than just showing up when it's convenient. It's about showing up when you're winning, when you're at your highest, as well as when you're struggling, when you're down in the trenches. A loyal friend will cheer you on in your success and pick you up when you fall. But a jealous person will only cheer for you as long as your success doesn't outshine theirs. The moment you surpass them in any way, the moment you take a step forward that they're not ready to take, that's when they start to fade. They don't want to see you grow if it means they'll feel left behind. They want you to stay at their level, stay where they're comfortable, because your progress is a reminder that they haven't moved forward as much as they should have. They're stuck, and they want you to stay stuck with them. Think about the times when you've shared your biggest victories, your proudest moments with people you thought were your closest friends. In the beginning, everything feels fine. They give you the "that's amazing" or a "wow, I'm so proud of you" spiel. But when it comes down to it, their actions don't match up with their words. They suddenly stop calling, stop checking in, stop supporting you the way they used to. They become distant, and that distance isn't about their busy life or something else. It's about the fact that your success has made them uncomfortable. Your shine has become a shadow they don't know how to stand in. And it hurts because you thought they were different. You thought that no matter what, they'd always have your back. But they didn't. Not when it really counted. It's in those moments when you realize that loyalty isn't just about who's there for you when you're down. It's about who's there for you when you're winning too. And real loyalty isn't about holding you back, it's about pushing you forward. It's about standing beside you, celebrating you, not feeling threatened by your light, but feeling empowered by it. Because a real friend sees your success as their success. They see it as a win for both of you, not a competition. They feel inspired to do better because of your drive, not diminished by it. But a jealous person, they can't handle that. They'll make little comments, throw passive-aggressive remarks, or act like they're happy for you when they're not. And that's when you have to recognize the truth. They're not loyal to you, they're loyal to their own ego. And that ego is afraid of losing its place. And the more you let them stay in your life, the more you allow their jealousy to go unchecked, the more it starts to chip away at your own sense of loyalty. Because you'll start second-guessing yourself. You'll start to wonder if you've done something wrong by succeeding. You'll question whether you've outgrown them, and maybe that's a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. It's a necessary thing. You have to grow. You have to evolve. And if someone can't handle that, if they can't handle seeing you rise, then they were never really loyal to you. They were loyal to the version of you that kept them comfortable, the version of you that didn't challenge their own fears and insecurities. At the end of the day, loyalty is about trust. It's about knowing that the people you keep around you are there to see you succeed, not just when it benefits them, but when it benefits you. Real loyalty means being able to share your wins without worrying that someone will be secretly rooting for you to fall. It means knowing that no matter what happens, they've got your back. And if someone can't give you that, if their loyalty is conditional on your success being small enough not to threaten their ego, then they're not the kind of person you need in your life. You don't need people who can't handle your greatness. You need people who will celebrate your greatness with you, who will help you rise even higher without fear or jealousy. We all know the feeling when you've worked so hard for something, poured your heart into it, and finally it pays off. The rush of success, the pride, the sense of accomplishment, it's all yours and it feels amazing. But then there's that moment when you share it with someone, and instead of seeing excitement, you see their reaction shift. It's that moment when you realize the person you thought would be happy for you is actually jealous. And the worst part, you feel like you can't fully celebrate your success because their energy has made you question if you even deserve it. It's not just frustrating, it's exhausting. You worked so hard to get where you are, and now you have to fight to hold on to that victory, not just from the world, but from the people closest to you. You shouldn't have to do that. Your wins are yours to celebrate, and no one should make you feel guilty for owning your success. This is why it's so crucial to protect your peace. When someone in your life lets jealousy creep in, it's not just an inconvenience, it's a direct attack on your energy. Jealousy isn't just a feeling, it's a vibe, an aura that they give off, and that aura can disrupt everything you've worked for. The moment you let someone with a hint of jealousy into your space, they begin to plant seeds of doubt. Suddenly, your accomplishments don't feel as sweet anymore. You start questioning if you're really deserving. if you've done enough, if maybe you've been too loud about your success. And that's exactly what jealousy wants. It wants to make you shrink. It wants to make you apologize for being great. The thing is, the more you let their jealousy get to you, the more you dilute your own power. You start to censor yourself. You stop sharing your wins as openly. You start worrying about how others will react or whether your progress is making someone uncomfortable. And when you do that, when you hold back because of someone else's insecurities, you're giving them power over your energy. And that's not how this works. You work too hard to let anyone dictate how big your dreams can get or how loudly you can celebrate them. The key to staying strong is realizing that your journey isn't theirs. Your success doesn't take away from theirs. You don't need to make yourself smaller just so someone else can feel bigger. The truth is, there will always be someone who feels threatened by your light. But that's their issue, not yours. And when you let their jealousy start to influence how you show up, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're letting someone else's insecurities make you doubt your own worth. But listen closely, your worth doesn't come from anyone else's approval. It doesn't come from them feeling comfortable with your success. It comes from within you. You're the one who worked tirelessly, put in the time, made the sacrifices, and fought through the obstacles. That success is yours to own, and no one gets to take that from you, no matter how uncomfortable they may feel. You have to remind yourself that their jealousy is not a reflection of your actions. It's a reflection of their own fears. People who feel threatened by your progress are usually the ones who haven't yet found the courage to make their own moves. They see you doing the work, putting yourself out there, and it scares them because they haven't reached that place in their own lives. And that fear turns into jealousy. They think if you're moving forward, it somehow means they're falling behind. But the truth is, your progress has no bearing on their potential. There's enough success to go around for everyone. There's no limit on how much we can all achieve, but the minute you let someone else's jealousy weigh you down, you start to believe there is. You start to believe there's a cap on what you can do, that you can't be too successful or too happy, because someone else might feel bad about it. So here's what you have to do. You have to protect your space, your energy, and your mindset. You can't allow someone else's insecurities to cause you to second-guess your worth. You can't let their jealousy keep you from shining brightly, from achieving what you know you're capable of. It's your time. It's your season. And if someone else can't handle that, it's their problem, not yours. You have no obligation to dim your light to make others feel comfortable. That's not how this journey works. And the sooner you realize that, the more freedom you'll have to keep moving forward without fear of what anyone else thinks. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to celebrate your victories. And you definitely deserve to be surrounded by people who lift you up, who cheer you on, who are genuinely happy for you when you succeed. People who are secure in themselves won't feel threatened by your greatness. They'll be inspired by it. They'll celebrate it with you. So stop shrinking. Stop apologizing for your success. Own it and keep moving forward, because your path is yours to walk and no one else's jealousy can take that away from you. One thing you have to understand is that your journey is your own, and there is no one who can truly walk it the way you do. The steps you take, the struggles you face, the victories you claim, those are yours. So when someone's jealousy creeps in, it's not about you, it's about how they perceive their own path. And that's the key. When jealousy enters the equation, it's not just an attack on your success. It's an indication of where that person is in their own life. They're projecting their own doubts, insecurities, and fears onto you. And that's something you can't let affect you. You've worked hard to get where you are, and there's always going to be someone who wishes they were in your shoes. But the truth is, no one else can wear your shoes. They can't carry the weight of your dreams. They haven't put in the late nights, the sacrifices, the work that you have. They haven't fought the battles you fought. They haven't seen the world through your eyes, so they can't possibly understand the depth of your journey. And that's what makes your success so special. It's yours. It's uniquely yours. And if someone is threatened by that, it only speaks to their own lack of self-awareness. Their jealousy is rooted in their inability to see their own potential, so they try to take yours down. But here's where you get to rise above it. You have to learn not to absorb their energy. When someone is jealous, it's easy to take it personally. It's easy to feel like you're doing something wrong, or that maybe you shouldn't be so proud of your progress. But that's a trap. Don't let their issues with themselves become your issues with you. You have worked for every single step you've taken. You've earned the right to be proud, to show up fully, and to celebrate everything you've achieved. The moment you start dimming your light to make someone else feel comfortable is the moment you stop living authentically. And the world doesn't need a version of you that's watered down because you're trying to please others. This is where the real power lies. The more you embrace your own success without fear or hesitation, the more you break free from the chains of others' expectations. You stop seeking approval, you stop apologizing for your greatness, and you stop shrinking to make someone else's insecurities less noticeable. Instead, you start owning who you are and what you've achieved. You start standing tall in your own truth, and that's when everything changes. You no longer worry about what others think because you know deep down that your journey is yours to create. No one can take that from you. Not even jealousy. Here's the thing about people who are jealous. They don't want to see you soar, not because they don't like you, but because they're afraid of the reflection you show them. Your success, your drive, your confidence, all of that forces them to look at themselves and wonder why they're not where they want to be. And in their mind, it becomes a competition. They think if you win, it means they're losing. But it doesn't have to be like that. You're not in competition with anyone else. You're in competition with the person you were yesterday. Your only job is to keep moving forward, keep leveling up, and keep growing. If someone's jealousy makes them feel threatened by your progress, that's a reflection of where they are in their own journey, not yours. And as you continue on your path, one of the most powerful things you can do is recognize that the people who genuinely support you will never ask you to shrink. They'll never make you feel like your progress is too much, too fast, or too big. They'll never tell you to dim your light so that they can shine a little brighter. True friends, true allies, true supporters, they will cheer you on, they will stand beside you, and they will celebrate every success you have. They understand that your success does not take away from theirs. They understand that there is more than enough room for all of us to win. As you move through life, remember that those who are truly meant to be in your life will never make you feel small. They will never make you feel like your dreams are unattainable or that your goals are too high. If they're threatened by your progress, it's because they haven't yet learned to embrace their own potential. And that's their journey to figure out, not yours. You can't let their issues hold you back. You can't let their jealousy keep you from stepping into your full power. Keep shining, keep being unapologetically yourself. Keep chasing your dreams, no matter how big or small they may seem, because the world needs what you have to offer. And no matter who tries to hold you back, no matter who gets jealous, the only person who can stop you is you. So don't give them that power. You're meant for greatness, and you've only just begun. So stand tall, walk with pride, and don't ever let anyone's jealousy make you question your worth or your path. You've earned every moment of success that's coming your way. Your future is too valuable to be weighed down by someone else's insecurity. If someone in your circle is jealous, they are not your circle. Choose friends who fuel your fire, not ones who secretly hope you burn. You deserve to shine without guilt.